Our next guest is living out his dream, working with the likes of Ed Sheeran and James Bay, getting millions of streams online and performing his music to thousands around the world.
But Tom Speight's journey just hasn't been easy. His career was nearly derailed by a battle with Crohn's disease, which saw him on the brink of death and left him needing life-saving surgery, which has resulted in him having a stoma.
Now, as an ambassador for Crohn's and Colitis UK, Tom is gearing up for a huge charity challenge this weekend. We've been talking about it. To help raise awareness, he joins us now to tell us more. Good morning to you.
Thanks for having us on, guys.
We've been discussing your war wounds, haven't we?
Discussing war wounds and the challenge. We'll come to the challenge because I think it's an epic thing you're going to be doing.
Yes.
It's going to be tough. You're going to get through it. But just in case people don't really understand, Tom, because they'll know your music, you've had hundreds of millions of streams. You're a wonderful, brilliant musician and performer, but you have this really, really difficult condition that you have to live with.
Yeah, I've had Crohn's for 20 years, which is kind of crazy. And it's definitely been a roller coaster. You know, I was even thinking about it the other day. This is like the first time in 2 years where I haven't been in hospital every year. You know, I wrote largely most of my first album in hospital. So to do this challenge and to, you know, be raising money for Crohn's and Colitis UK, I'm super proud, really.
So, Tom, you were diagnosed with Crohn's at 19.
Yeah. So you're revealing my age here.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I'm peeling back the layers of the onion. So how did you find out you got it and what was that diagnosis
It just came out of nowhere. I was at university and I was having, like, diarrhoea, you know, vomiting, weight loss and all these kind of things. And it was just, honestly, I didn't know anything about it. And I think this is why it's, like, important for me to, you know, if I can speak about it. Because at the time, there was, you know, there wasn't much awareness of Crohn's, and I think it's just important that we get the word out there, and because it is, you know, it's an invisible illness as well. So,
but it was super serious,
life-threatening.
life-threatening. You were 20 minutes away.
Yeah, so that was 4 years after diagnosis.
You had
20
a
minutes from
collapse?
dying, basically. Yeah, which sounds really dramatic, but
It is dramatic, Tom.
It doesn't just sound
and then I woke up with a stoma.
Wow.
And coming to terms with that must have been really, really difficult. How old were you at the time?
I would have been, 23, 24,
And suddenly you've got this stuff.
Yeah, I had like a record deal, publishing deal, and I remember thinking at the time when they were said, "Oh, we're going to have to put you in surgery," and I was like, I was more worried about all of that disappearing than the actual surgery itself, because I just thought it's over for me. Like, you know, I don't know any musicians that have these kind of things, and I didn't really speak about it until my third album, where I thought, if I've got a bit of a platform, hopefully then I can do it for my younger self and say, you know, it's going to be all right. And, you know, we've toured the world. I just got back from Brazil and Argentina, done Glastonbury, you know, living out my dream, but on Radio 2, which you played us, which was really cool. And, yeah, so it's, you know, I'm here hopefully to say to people at home, if you're struggling to get out of bed today, you can do it, because this idiot here is going to sign up for an army challenge.
Yes. You recently bared for the first time as well, of course. You bared all. Yeah. And you posted this and you did some sort of, you know, post about that's you. Yeah. With your stoma for the first time. How did you feel?
Well, let's be honest. 2 days later, you were on Men's Health. So I was like... I was
By the
like
way,
some
I know what
budget version of Ben Shepherd for a couple of days. But no, that was nerve-wracking because I hadn't taken my top off ever in life since surgery, really. I always wear like a support band, and then to be standing in front of a camera lens with it was daunting, really. But I did it really just to own the disease and having a stoma, because, you know, I recently became single in the last year, and I kept on thinking it was like a stumbling block of like having these conversations. So now I'm just going to have it as my Tinder profile, basically.
Love it, love it.
Because do you feel like there is still a stigma?
Yeah,
or there's maybe perhaps like an unknown kind of...
I think there's misconceptions, I remember when I started going to the gym and, you know, people I would be working out with, they'd be like, oh, can you do this, can you do that? And I didn't play football for like 10 years because I was worried about getting injured. And honestly, this is why I want to do the challenge, to say nothing's going to hold me back. And having a stoma or a Crohn's is just, it's like my superpower. It gave me a whole new lease of life. You know, I since diagnosis to that surgery, I didn't have, like, I was just existing, really.
Yeah, and now you're not. You're absolutely thriving.
Yeah, I'm thriving. I've got a new album, tour, all of this, touring the world. I'm on the sofa with you guys. It's all good.
Let's talk about Saturday, then. Yeah. So you're doing one of the SAS's final real tests for the people to actually get clearance to join.
Yeah,
That was a big intake of breath. He just did. He went,
honestly, it's brutal.
It's known as the fan dance?
Yeah, it's known as the fan dance. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, basically, if I complete it,
Not if.
Well, I'll be part of the army. Basically, they can recruit me. They'll be like sensitive singer-songwriter.
So tell us what it is then, Tom. You've got to talk us through it.
Oh God, it's. Yeah, even saying it is just brutal. Basically, it's me. Oh God, I don't even want to think about it, Ben. I've been training for it for months.
Okay, that's good.
Do you want to do it for me?
No, I can barely walk at the minute. I've done enough right now.
Yeah, I'll be basically weighted, and like for the first bit, I've got to go up a giant trek hill, and then I've got to run for like 8 miles of weights, and then go back, and then come back down. It's brutal.
It's relentless. In the Brecon Beacons.
Yeah.
It's their final test, isn't it? The SAS,
yeah,
to get into the regiment.
to apply for a candidate to be
in the regiment.
Yeah.
But it's not easy, because if you don't do it within a certain period of time,
oh,
like,
they'll
they
be
get
telling
really
me to
tough.
do push-ups. It's the staff they're not gonna like me when they see me, but yeah,
it's going to be
it's going to be great, and it's the most important thing. It's for Crohn's and Colitis UK, and yeah, it's just for anyone at home that's struggling right now.
And as well, you've got a new album.
New album
coming out, Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
Which sounds fantastic as well. You've been working with some amazing groups and artists.
Yeah, tour. Yeah, it took us to Brazil for like about a month ago, and Argentina. It's honestly a whirlwind, and to be physically fit for tour, and it's honestly a dream, because it has been a really rocky road up until now.
Mm.
And with regards to, this is one of the myths that you wanted to dispel. You're doing this really physical challenge with the Stoma on Saturday. Yeah. There's no issues with any sort of physical. You can swim with it.
Yeah, swim. Anything's possible with it. Yeah, and there's none. It doesn't hold me back in one way.
And you are now on the market. You're single.
Yeah.
Doesn't hold him back in any way. You just heard that.
We know what his Tinder profile looks like, but maybe we can help. We're here to help.
Oh no, you're going to set up some helpline.
Helpline?
Do you know what?
Helpline, more like.
My mum's a big fan of the show, so let's focus on that rather than my disastrous.
What's her name?
Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Good
also,
morning
as well,
to you.
she watches this on catch up.
Does she?
That's quite insane, right?
No.
That's lovely.
No, that's
Thanks very much,
Thanks,
Jenny.
So we'll also get a poll. How many of you guys watch this on catch up? I think, yeah.
We can test her later.
Yeah. We'll be catching up with you next week to find out how you do on Saturday. Good luck, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you looking so well. It's brilliant.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.